On this week's Carrier Wrap, we speak with Ultramobile on its position in the MVNO space on how it looks to differentiate its various brands against established operators. All right, thanks for joining us on this week's Carrier Wrap. I'm your host, Dan Meyer, Editor-in-Chief here at RCR Wireless News. And joining me this week is David Glickman, who's the CEO of Ultramobile, to talk a bit about the exciting MVNO space. So, hey, David, thanks for joining us this week. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Dan. Glad to be here.
Very good. Well, let's start off with, for those that don't know much about Ultramobile, maybe a little background on the company, maybe, on its founding, kind of, if you can, your network partnerships you guys have, and maybe how you handle maybe some of the back office operations as well for the company there.
Wow, okay.
That's a lot there, I know. Let's start wherever you want there, but yeah, maybe just some background there, really.
Yeah. So we were founded almost 5 years ago, and prior to that, it was myself and a team of entrepreneurs that we're in the international carrier space, providing discounted calls to folks calling internationally. We said, this is just not the optimal solution. Why should we have? Why should people buy international calling separate from their mobile? And we said what really needs to happen is there needs to be a carrier in the United States exclusively focused on the 45 to 50 million people living in America that weren't born in America. Mm-hmm. And that's when Ultramobile was born. We said we need to be, essentially look and act exactly like a carrier. Mm-hmm. And we designed this carrier from the ground up. Essentially, it was unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited international calling to most of the world, and to the parts of the world that were very expensive to call. At least you would be able to call internationally cheaper than anywhere else. And then we assume that everybody has their own phones, mm-hmm. Their own smartphones, iPhones, Androids, whatever it is, and we didn't want to be in the phone business. So we envisioned a way to be a nationwide carrier to offer all of this. And we did that with our partnership with T-Mobile. Mm-hmm. T-Mobile was very open, understanding they were looking for something like this. We had a lot of experience. I have over 20 years experience in international telecom. And essentially, we partnered with T-Mobile, so we use their network. And now you can buy an Ultra SIM. Mm-hmm. And we decided to do it. Where would people that were not born in America that are living here go for cell service? And mm-hmm. where they focus are the independent wireless stores. And so we're in about 10,000 independent wireless stores. We're also in another 10 to 15,000 other stores, including CVS, including Target, including all of the 7-Elevens. Mm-hmm. So we are we're 5 minutes away from just about anybody.
That old Radio Shack model, being 5 minutes away from everybody, yeah.
Yes. They were 15 minutes. We're
50 yards, yeah.
Yes, as close as your nearest convenience store, independent wireless store. So anyhow, so today, Ultramobile is a SIM card that you put in your phone. It works on any phone capable. Any phone that has a SIM slot that is unlocked, mm-hmm. or if it is locked, if it's locked to T-Mobile, that's fine. Mm-hmm. And which are the bulk of the phones out there, and all the new phones that are coming out from Samsung and Apple are multi-carrier, and they work as well. So essentially. You stick a SIM in, and you can call unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited international calling, unlimited international texting, and unlimited data. That's a big one. Unlimited data, all for $29 a month. Wow. So it's basically what I call unlimited everything, including international, for $29 a month. We charge $1 for all the taxes and everything else. So $30, all the taxes, everything included, no contract. It's been phenomenally successful. We sell over 1 million SIMs a year. Wow. And we grew quite quickly. And in our first 3 years, we became the #1 fastest growing company in America. So we were #1 on the Inc. 5000 in 2015, last year.
Mm-hmm. Wow, impressive. So, I mean, obviously, like I know the market itself has been growing quite a bit. I know the MVNO space has been very competitive as well. It does seem like you guys have got, I'm guessing, I'm guessing a lean type of operations again to be able to offer all of that at a relatively low price. I know MVNOs have traditionally kind of been, that's been their motto, or at least trying to be, as being
Right.
a lean operation. I'm guessing you guys have a pretty lean operation out there then too.
We are. We're very aggressive. We try to pass a lot of the equity to our distribution channel and to the end user. So we make just a very, very thin margin, and we grow and make it up in volume. So the stores make a lot of money selling Ultra Mobile. The customers save a lot of money. We have tremendous customer service. We're very focused on that. You rarely have to wait when you call it. Almost always answered within 30 seconds. So we want to just be that carrier that people love.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Now, I guess, now how do you view the current competitive market out there? Because it does seem like, if you go into a convenience store, you go to, kind of a retail store, sometimes you see a lot of options in terms of, SIM cards or prepaid and things like that. I guess, how do you guys view the market out there, and how do you differentiate yourself in that market, which is, it does seem to be quite a big and maybe growing market as well, too?
Yes, well, it's definitely a big market. I wouldn't necessarily say it's growing. We're kind of hitting that zero-sum game, which is everybody has a cell phone, everybody has a cell phone plan. Sure. To the extent it's growing, then you would see people that have multiple devices. It's not uncommon to have a connected tablet while you also have a cell phone. Like you see people walking around with an Android and an iPhone, but that's not generally the case. And so, we differentiate ourselves, in many ways. First of all, there are many choices, and there are a lot of MVNOs out there, and MVNO is a very, very tough space. The big four carriers are so focused on branded postpaid. Wall Street has told them that is the number one. But of course they also want subscribers, they want revenues, they want profits. Mm-hmm. We provide all of those to T-Mobile. It's just that, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, they all are told that, 90% of what Wall Street focuses on is how are you doing in branded postpaid. Yeah. Today, 3 out of 4 of them have their own prepaid brands. Metro PCS, Cricket, and Boost, yep. Are all carrier owned and are very, very strong. Have sell almost exclusively in their own stores in the same neighborhoods where our independent wireless stores are as well. So it's very tough competition. The carrier, what I call it. I've been doing this for 20 years with what I call co-opetition. So yes, we cooperate with each other and we compete with each other. Yeah. We also are, we'll be launching next year a really interesting program that promotes the co-opetition even more, and we'll be announcing that as well. But it'll be, I think, the first time you'll see people, MVNOs really working, super close with their MNO, and we have an amazing relationship with T-Mobile. Hopefully we provide them with everything that they're looking for in an MVNO, and they're certainly providing us with a lot, everything that we could ever want in an MNO.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about it because it does seem like the operators have had kind of this up and down relationship with MVNOs over the years. I remember, curving the space back in the early 2000s when, a lot of big names came to the market. There was Disney and ESPN and all these guys who wanted to come and be these big brand MVNOs, and they had partnerships. But then they found the market to be very, very competitive, and the larger operators really kind of started targeting what they were trying to do. But it does seem like we've kind of come back into a new wave now where the operators do seem to recognize the value, I guess, in these MVNO partnerships. And it does seem like some of them are a little more open to these efforts as well.
Well, to some extent. I mean, I see that the 2 biggest ones in MVNO space were Sprint and T-Mobile. Yeah. And I think it's gotten to a point where they're not interested anymore. It used to be, especially Sprint would sign up anybody who wanted to be an MVNO. And now it's gotten to a point where, look, we're really only interested in MVNOs of scale, or that provide a very, very specific niche that isn't being provided that the MNO can't provide. But they're really not interested in value plays anymore. International used to be a really interesting niche, and now the largest international marketplace. The two largest international marketplaces for U.S. are Canada and Mexico. Mexico, far and away number one. And now most of the carriers have kind of smushed North America into everything included. So as that no longer becomes international, the international calling is less of a niche. And so Ultra is morphing. We have since started and or purchased other companies, and so we are now a multi-brand MVNO, and we basically so at the MNO side, I really see them as saying, look, we're picking really quality players right now, and there's going to be, and there has been, a lot of consolidation in the MNO space, but I don't see anybody walking into an MNO saying we're going to offer your services on your network at cheaper than what you're offering. There is a price war going on with the MNOs, and you generally don't see that in a resale environment. Everything outside of telecom, if we were in consumer goods, if we were in over-the-counter, cold remedies, whatever it is, you generally see the major player that puts a ton of money into marketing and advertising and doesn't want to sell below a certain rate. Then you'll see the generic brands, the store brands, and the other resellers will come in, and Johnson & Johnson's Band-Aids will be twice the price as no name or store brand Band-Aids, or whatever. the actual name of it is. And so basically that doesn't exist anymore. Several years ago, John Leisure pushed the price war and the whole Un-carrier concept, and essentially turned T-Mobile into what every MVNO was doing, or what a reseller was doing. And they're saying, why do we have to act like the big carriers? Why do we have to, gouge customers just because we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars in advertising and building an amazing network? Let's just give all the value to the customers. And he's been tremendously successful. Since we started with T-Mobile, T-Mobile stock has grown,
shot up. Yeah, they're doing pretty well.
3 to 4x. I think it's about 400%. It's gone up. So, that's incredible. And but it hurts the MNOs, because now you see that it used to be the carriers only talked about customer service, JD Power, and quality of their network, and now it's price. How many gigabytes? And pretty soon it's unlimited gigabytes included at LTE and everything. So becoming a value play MVNO is a tough spot to be in right now.
Yeah, I'm always impressed though because I've talked to a few MVNOs in the past about this, and I'm always surprised by the people I talk to, how positive and upbeat they are about it. I mean, it does seem like it is like you said, it's a really competitive market that could be tough on people. But I'm always impressed by how positive people are when they talk about what they're bringing to the market. So I got to say, maybe it takes a certain person to run an MVNO, but I'm always impressed by the positiveness about people who are in the business.
You actually hit on something there that's true, because I have met so many folks in this space, and you're right, it does take a certain person, and they're very, very optimistic. And I will talk to companies that I know are in a death spiral, and I will say, look, you're 2 months behind, 3 months behind paying your MNO, you're throwing crazy sales out there, you're desperate for customer base, you're trying to do something. And several times we've come in and tried to help companies out, and the owner sits there and says, "No, we're doing great. We're launching a new service. We're launching a new market, and everything else." And then, sure enough, there's a tombstone a few months later. Yeah. So you're right. It's hard to gauge how well the MVNOs are doing, because there's a very optimistic type of person that runs an MVNO, and myself, not excluded. If there's somebody more optimistic out there, I haven't met. Yeah.
No, like I said, it's always good to talk to people who are very optimistic about it, because again, like I said, it's a very competitive part of there. But I guess in terms of competition, though, I know there's been a lot. Obviously, you guys are very much cellular focused in terms of your operations. There's been a lot of companies that have come around with various like Wi-Fi connectivity options and things like that as well, trying to enter into the space. I guess, how do you view that potential market? Is that something you guys are looking at, or is that maybe something that's a little trickier and perhaps not really on your radar at this moment?
No, so we're looking at everything.
Okay.
So we are. Yeah, you talk about MVNOs. We are a profitable MVNO, so that puts it in a much smaller category, and it's very tough. It's very tough in the U.S. to be a profitable MVNO right now because what we call the data wars of 2016, where carriers are selling data to the end user cheaper than they're selling it to the wholesaler, to us. So we have to buy it at a higher price than they're selling retail, and then figure out a way to make it. We've been very successful at that. And like I said, we are quite profitable right now. And so what we've done is we've invested those profits in other areas. So first, we've looked at less competitive marketplaces. So one is we partnered and we purchased the brand Univision Mobile. And Univision, of course, is the biggest name in Hispanic media. And so to actually be marketing it, under their brand, under their name to, U.S. Hispanic population, definitely, carries a lot of weight. We've also launched another company called Mint. It is Mint Sim, SIM, and it's all internet based. So it's mintsim.com. And that is a true, a true value play where we have, essentially it's what I call like the Costco model. Number one, you won't find a better price. And if you buy in bulk, you'll get it even cheaper. So we sell 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month plans, and the price just keeps dropping per month. So you could buy, unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited data, unlimited everything for as low as $21 a month if you buy it. A year
at a time, yeah.
Yeah, if you buy a year in advance. And so we run a challenge. If you buy 1 month initially, so if you're a brand new customer, if you buy 1 month, you get one free, that type of thing. And then you decide after that if you want 3, 6, or 12. And that has also been that just launched. It's been quite successful. And then you talked about some of these Wi-Fi first plays and whatnot. We looked at that, and it's certainly an area we'd like to potentially focus on. I don't know that that's where we want to focus on it today. We work very closely with T-Mobile, and T-Mobile's not really looking at coming in and taking, and backing MVNOs that are putting a lot of what they sell, talk and text, outside of their network. But we have launched an OTT that is not a mobile play called Primo. Yeah. And Primo is an app. We're officially launching a lot of the main features. We launched in beta a few months ago, and we got over 1 million users. Many more downloads, but that's currently what we have today, is about 1 million users. And it's a way to talk. It works on any phone, on any plan, in any country, and it works off of Wi-Fi or 3G, 4G, and you make international calls for free. It's something that you get, I think 25 to 100 minutes free every month. And then if you want more than that, you pay, but you pay such a very low price. So for example, I think we charge $5 a month for unlimited talk to 2/3 of the world. So you can call 2/3 of the several billion people unlimited for $5 a month, and that's just an add-on that you can put anywhere. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how aggressive you guys can be, because I'm guessing obviously the larger operators they're throwing out their rate plans all the time, but they've got pretty large staff of people, and that's kind of what they're focused on all the time. I'm guessing for you guys and other MVNOs, I'm guessing you guys aren't quite as extensive in your staff, and so here you are though, being really aggressive in all these different markets, trying different things from a relatively small small staff, I would guess. That's got to be I'm guessing you guys are constantly having to look at various parts of the operations almost on an ongoing minute by minute, hour by hour basis to kind of see where can you find new value out there. Yeah, that's true. We're not, as lean as you might think. We have over 100 employees in America. We have much more than that overseas with customer service and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But we do manage it, of course, very effectively, and we are quite lean in many areas, but we try to stay as lean as possible where it really counts, which is the revenue side, the cost of goods sold side, and whatnot. So that's on the big numbers, we're lean, and like I said, I think we are certainly one of the very few that are sustainably profitable. Our profits are strong. We had we invested well over 10 to $20 million building this network, building everything in the company, and it then took us a while to pay all that off. So we are debt free this year. We are doing everything that we need to be. So we're a good, strong company, and growing a lot.
Interesting. So, well, I guess maybe as a final kind of wrap-up question, I guess looking ahead a little bit, I guess what are maybe some of the bigger challenges facing not just you guys, but I guess the MVNO space out there kind of moving forward? Because it does seem like you said, maybe it's not a growing market, but it does seem like there are new entrants coming on the market and operators focusing on different parts of the space. I guess for you guys and for the MVNO space in general, what's maybe some of the big challenges kind of going forward for you guys?
Well, again, the big challenge is the fact that when I look to it in 2017 and 2018, 2017 is going to be the year of unlimited data. It started with T-Mobile, and some have followed, but they all will. And what you're going to see is more competition. And at that point, once you're offering what I'm calling unlimited everything, then you're going to see the ARPUs dropping. And so the carriers today, T-Mobile can offer $75, so they actually popped, the minimum was $50. Now people are jumping to the T-Mobile One plan, and then you're going to see that as all the other carriers come in, someone's going to come in at 70, someone's going to be 65, 60, and that's going to drop. And so this is the last hurrah for large or increasing ARPUs until you get to content. So now talk, text, data is all done, and that's going to just be kind of dropping in price. And in order for ARPUs to go back up, the carriers are going to be offering content. Where we come from, Ultra Mobile is looking at the fact that 2017 people are going to start understanding what a SIM card is. In 2018, I've always said 2018 is the year that Americans are really going to embrace the SIM, because by then, most of the two CDMA networks, Verizon and Sprint, will be almost entirely LTE, which is SIM based. And at that point, everybody's just going to be swapping SIMs. And so, your iPhones are getting better and better. If you have an iPhone 6, you're not running out and buying an iPhone 7. A 6 or a 7 will last several years, well past the time when it is open and unlocked and you can switch. And I think at that point, you'll see the people changing the way they do in Europe and all around the world. And so, as far as Ultra Mobile is concerned, we're very, forward thinking, and we're looking at any type of acquisition. We're looking to consolidate, grow by merging with competitors or acquiring folks in other areas to give us new core competencies or getting into new markets.
Yeah, and I'm guessing too, I know you mentioned the Univision acquisition too. Is there some sort of content availability partnership there with Univision? Because again, like you said, they are a huge multimedia company out there. It would seem like if you could partner with them in some way, that would be a great way to kind of move the business forward as well too.
Oh, absolutely, and and all of that is is in the works with us. So you're absolutely right, and it's a very good point you touch on, Dan. I'd love to talk to you about that more at any time.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, appreciate it. Well, hey, David, obviously great to get some insight on you on the topic there, and good to kind of catch up with you guys and see that you guys are doing well. It's good to hear. Congratulations. 2016 was a profitable year for you guys, which is always good to have for MVNOs out there. But we definitely appreciate the insight on this, and hopefully we'll touch base again soon on some other topics. So thanks again for the time today. Well, thanks for watching this week's show, and make sure to check out our next carrier wrap when we speak with Michael Thielander from Signals Research Group to get some insight into the ongoing 5G standards process and its recent testing of 4x4 MIMO solutions. Thanks for watching.